My name is Mike Mosser. I'm a former board member. I was on the board for 6 years with Empty Bowls Mon. I now am on the fundraising team.
Hey, I'm Lisa Giuliani. This is my 3rd year on the board for Empty Bowls Mon, and I am the bowl committee chair, and I am in charge of making all the bowls appear to this event.
So a little history on where we've come. Back in 2009, this event started. It was started down at the First Presbyterian Church, downtown Morgantown, moved to St. Mary's, and actually outgrew the facility at St. Mary's in Star City. So we decided to come out here to Mylan, Ruby McQueen facility here at Mylan Park, and this has grown from several $100s in fundraising back in 2009 to our goal this year of $180,000. Some of the monies come from our luncheon, $20 a piece for 2,000 people approximately, but again, our goal was $180,000 this year. Lisa will talk a little bit about the bowls.
This year we had over 1,800 bowls donated from our local community. We have 550 bowls from the WVU Clay Guild. They spent the entire day throwing and trimming and making bowls for this event. And then we had over 1,100 bowls donated to us from the Wow Factory, where people from the community come, pay $6 a bowl, and they paint their little hearts out, and it's all donated to this event. Various clay clubs and colleges donate bowls, and so do professional potters. We could not do this event without all of the many patrons, potters, and community members. We also had 475 gallons of soup this year from all of our local restaurants around town.
So all of our funding that we raise for this event, for this cause, goes to 23 food pantries and feeding programs in Mon County. All the money stays in Mon County. It goes to backpack programs at our elementary and middle school programs. So it benefits the food insecure in Mon County.
We have 7 backpack programs in this county that we help support. So when the teachers are striking because they are not getting enough pay, we are helping support those that are in need.
So each year it's gotten bigger. The communities come out and embraced this great cause for helping children and the food insecure in Mon County. And we can't thank all of our sponsors that have helped raise our money, and all the patrons that come out here and enjoy the 400 gallons, 57 varieties of soup from all of our suppliers or vendors in Morgantown, restaurants, stores, etc., that support this great cause.
So in the most recent years, we've had about 2,000 people patronize our event. Every year, if you look on a graph, we are steadily increasing to help support our community. It takes approximately 700 to 800 volunteers just to make this event happen. And our 2 board presidents are the volunteer coordinators. They work tirelessly all year to rally the troops to make this 1 2.5-hour luncheon happen. Students from WVU come and they get community service through iServe, just different members of the community. Some people have been volunteering for Empty Bowls for this event since the beginning.
Yeah, Mike and Tammy Miller are our co-presidents for Empty Bowls, and they also are in charge of all the volunteers which help to put on this event. And obviously Mylan Park, Mike Karen and his staff help us get all the tables set up, make sure the kitchen's operating properly, and it's a total community effort to pull this off every year.
Also, All in Stitches every year, they come up with their own themed logo for the event, and they press shirts all day long, and all of the proceeds benefit Empty Bowls.
Yes, I had the green soup, which was from Gibby's. That was really, really great. Oh, the oyster stew. Oh my gosh, I love oyster stew. So I go for short lines, however. You got to remember. whatever's the shortest line. So I wait and see when they're going to empty a new line, and then I hit it. Right? It's the best, right? But great event. I mean, seriously, I've watched this grow, over the years. Just 2 weeks ago, went to the one in Preston County.
Oh, did you?
So yes, it was well received. They're starting to grow up there. I think, with a cross-county cooperation here, I think we could make this down through Taylor, Tucker, Harrison, Marion. I envision this. I'm not saying this was a humble beginning. Right. Sort of like Pace. It grew out of a mother's love, and this grew out of that Presbyterian church. You see what's going on now? It's great. Great for the community. Great event.
Good deal. We have Tom Bloom here. He will talk a little bit about the Empty Bowls event and what it means to the community.
I think it's unbelievable. This is probably the most organized event I've ever seen in my life. In fact, jokingly, I told several legislators they should run it the state like you run it, because it's unbelievable. The whole community gets together, everyone comes here for a good cause, everyone helps out, and it just is an ongoing process, and it's so needed in Monongalia County, and it's so needed for the community, and it just brings everyone together, and this is the kind of events I wish we could do more of. Another thing that's amazing is out of this also, Empty Bowls has helped with the Pantry Plus program, where we now have 8 pantry programs in the schools that are open every day, all year long. And students, all they have to do is ask someone and they come up, get the food. And we also have personal hygiene items. And it's been an amazing success for the community. The schools have picked it up. It's become a really important part. And Empty Bowls also gave us a donation, a grant to run it, so we were able to open up 2 more schools. So again, people do not understand how their money goes to so many events, and we couldn't do it without y'all, and we really appreciate it. Right. Thank you.
And a lot of the funds that we give to the recipients, it goes for fresh food.
Exactly.
That is not necessarily capable of the canned food that the Pantry Plus and people like that give out. So it's a way of adding a whole fruits, vegetables, yes, and meats that are needed for these food insecure folks.
In fact, ironically, what we're now doing is when we're giving out this fresh produce, we have to give out how to cook it. They've never had it before. So we're now expanding that, and that's really going back to the young kids, so they're learning how to use the vegetables, and we couldn't do it without you.
Okay. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
We have Mike Miller here. He's president of Empty Bowls Mon, and Mike's going to talk a little bit about the beginning and, as president, how this event all comes together.
Thank you. Well, I'm actually a co-president. My wife's the other co-president. And how this event comes together just takes an awful lot of organization, planning what's going to happen basically throughout the day. We have over 400 volunteers that help out between Friday and today, Saturday. Many of them are working at WVU Towers, but the rest are essentially right here in this room at Mylan. Let's see, we picked up over 400 gallons of soup, or our volunteers did yesterday. People are enjoying it throughout the day, and everyone seems to be having a great time. This is a wonderful community event because so many people come out and everyone's in a good mood, enjoying soup, greeting each other, sometimes for the first time since last year's Empty Bowls event.
So, Michael, maybe talk a little bit about how all this soup is prepared. Who does it? How's it get in lines, etc.?
So I don't have a list of the restaurants in front of me, but the soup's donated by many, many, many local restaurants. We had 20 volunteers with vehicles pick up the soup on Friday. The kitchen at Mylan is not capable of heating up all that soup. So the soup's transported from the restaurants to WVU Lion Towers, where it's refrigerated overnight. Then early this morning, volunteers start heating up the soup. The soup gets put into containers that go into other insulated containers, and they're brought out to Mylan, to the kitchen here at Mylan, where it's organized, and then soup servers are serving it to our patrons.
Mike, how many people is our organization going to serve today?
Well, we hope to serve at least 2,000. We won't know until the end of the day really how many people have come in, but I think we have a very good crowd this year in spite of the rain. So I'm optimistic that we'll serve over 2,000 patrons, and those are patrons with tickets. Children 10 and under eat for free.
So, and Michael, if there's any soup left at the end of the day of the 400 gallons, where does that soup go and who does it benefit?
So we do not throw any of the soup or cookies or bread away that's left over at the day of the event. The soup is collected and it's taken by a couple volunteers to various meal programs and pantries throughout the area, along with the cookies and the bread that are left over. But it is definitely not disposed of. It's all used to feed people here or those who are in need in our community through pantries and meal programs.
Okay, we've got Kevin Armstrong from Cheat Lake Rotary here with us, and Kevin is going to talk a little bit about our Rotary clubs in Mon County and how they support and contribute to the many things that goes on here at Empty Bowls.
It's interesting. Every week we get together, right? Every Tuesday our chapter meets, and just along with all of the other chapters that are in the Morgantown area, talking about how they can get involved and how they can give back to the community. And every week, Empty Bowls is discussed, and the importance and our need to really just get involved with this effort, knowing that the extreme, I guess, necessity of the food insecure in the Morgantown area. Right, Mike, I mean, you wouldn't really think that there's food insecurity in this area, would you? If you look at the homes, if you look at everything around us?
I mean, we're one of the most wealthy counties in the state, and yet there's such a need. $6 million is needed to cure food insecurity in this county.
Yeah, and if you look, just leading up to this, I mean, starting from probably December or January, just even around the Morgantown area, right? You see a lot of businesses that have signs out supporting Empty Bowls. So you see our businesses really getting involved to help the Rotary mission, you know, to help the food secure here in Morgantown. And then you just look around here today and you look at all the people, the community that are coming out to support it. But it still amazes me, Mike, every time you get up, you know, in our meeting Tuesday mornings and just talk about the need. And you just even look at what's going on even here this last couple of days with the kids out of school and the need for all the pantries to provide food for kids that aren't in school. It doesn't make sense.
Right. Well, it is a little bit different now this year with the teachers' strike. We do have a lot more children here than we have in the past, but this program is being pushed down into the elementary and middle school students to help make the bowls that you see here. They're all the patrons together.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, it's neat. My daughter, we're actually looking for her bowl back here. She went to the Wow Factory, which, you know, I guess the honored students at University High, they went and made some bowls. But you're involving, you know, kids from a very, very little age, helping them and teaching them the importance of giving back into the community. I think Empty Bowls reaches far beyond Rotary. I love the fact that Rotary is taking a part of this and giving back, but the stretch and the reach of Empty Bowls throughout our community is far and wide. And I know just today and whatever happens beyond here is going to make a huge difference for the food insecure in Morgantown.
Well, thank you, Kevin.
Hi, I'm Simon Schiebel. I'm an Empty Bowls volunteer. I help in the bowl room, and I help direct people, the volunteers, to where they need to go. Empty Bowls is important because there are people in Mon County with food insecurity. We have backpack programs and things to help, but Empty Bowls is a major thing that helps with food insecurity. The bowls present that we have to wait in a line. We wait in a line so that they don't have to, and I think that's really important. I think everyone who comes here is a participant and helps Mon County and the world even more. I go to school at Suncrest Elementary. I'm in the 5th grade. I've been volunteering for 3 years. I got involved because my mom is friends with a big member in the Empty Bowls community.
We have Tyler Davis with us here. He's our treasurer for Empty Bowls Monongalia. And Tyler's going to talk a little bit about where the money goes and how the money that we raise is divided up amongst our charity units.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike. So the money that we raise throughout the year and here at the event goes back into Mon County, the various food pantries and agencies around the county. They apply. We have an agency liaison committee who works with each agency and understands their needs, understands the merits that our money would go to. And at the end of each year in May, or I apologize, actually in May, we distribute funds and do absolutely everything possible to meet the needs of the various agencies, giving out obviously thousands of dollars. The goal this year, as you've said, is $180,000 raised. We distribute tens of thousands of dollars to dozens of agencies around the county. It goes a long way to backpack programs, to food pantries, and just to putting food on the table of the people that need it.
Tyler, so for the monies that Empty Bowls Mon raises, can you give a little summary of what all the dollars that we raise to goes for?
Yeah, absolutely. So those the monies all go to various food pantries and agencies around the county. And what we hear a lot about today's event and the annual luncheon, the soup and bread luncheon. We hear a lot of great things about the numbers and the turnout and the efficiency, just how well run this event is. But really, what you see here today is just a drop in the bucket. Literally, thousands of people come through the door. We raise thousands of dollars on a day like this, but really, it's the work of the fundraising committee and the board and the members of our community that just contribute throughout the year, tens upon tens of thousands of dollars throughout the year. So a big thank you to our major donors and those regular donors that really make it happen throughout the year. Because today is really just a drop in the bucket. Even though you see thousands of people come through the door today, it's really the efforts that go on throughout the year that do it.
Yeah, so this is like a 3.5 hour process today, but a lot of people don't understand that this goes 24/7, 365 days a year to raise the funds for this organization.
Absolutely. We'll see. We're always hopeful that we see about 2,000 people come through the door at the event, and a good luncheon probably raises about $10,000. And again, that goal of $180,000 on the year, that comes from the efforts of our fundraising and the members of the community, just the other 364 days a year.
Thank you, Tyler. We have Jerry Hoyt here. Jerry is a past board member. Jerry and I came on the board and served for 6 years, and now he is the executive director for Empty Bowls. And Jerry, how has all this time and energy and money come together to put on such a wonderful performance today?
It's amazing to me that the board sits around a table once a month and talks about their specific responsibilities, and then they have committees that work to organize the event, and we have about 400 and some odd volunteers who are actually working here today. We have volunteer coordinators who are like HR people who schedule people and train them and whatnot for the various responsibilities. And the money that we raise today goes out to feed the hungry in Monongalia County. We have about 16,000 individuals in Mon County who are food insecure, and all this money that we make today and throughout the year goes to feeding the hungry in this county.
And so, Jerry, what is the total amount of money that if all the food insecure folks in Mon County could be served, how much money would that entail?
According to Feeding America, it would take $2,888 and some odd, $288,000 and some odd cents to completely eradicate food insecurity in this county for this year only.
So we have Ori Akavati here. Ori's been a volunteer here as long as I've been here, and I'm going to let Ori tell you a little bit about what she does on this luncheon day.
I'm the supervisor of the cookie and bread pantry. We get donations from churches and individuals for cookies. We get about 200 dozen cookies, and we get bread donated from restaurants and individuals. And we put the bread and the cookies in little trays and we put them out onto the tables for the people to enjoy.
So if we have any bread or cookies left, what do we do with all that supplies that we have left?
Any bread and cookies left will go to churches and go to soup pantries and down to the community kitchen, which feeds the insecure people 5 days a week. And so nothing goes to waste, and we place these things away to places that need them.
So we have Corey Ferris. Corey was our past president here. He's been on the board 6 years, 7 years, like a lot of us. And Corey is a volunteer like many of us are here today. Corey, can you tell us a little bit about your tenure with Empty Bowls Mon and what this means to the community and the involvement of WVU in helping us put this on?
Well, my involvement, watched it still when it was pretty small event to this giant event that we have here at the event center at Mylan Park. And it's important for me to be involved, but it's more important for WVU to be involved in our community, to get back to the community, to help those that don't have enough food. And so we've gotten students involved, faculty and staff. WVU Dining Services is phenomenal with the way they help us refrigerate and heat the soup back up to temperature and support us with supplies and loaner equipment and things like that. So I'm proud to be a part of Empty Bowls, and I know WVU is too.
And from where we started to where it is today is really a super transition of a nonprofit organization. It has risen from actually ground zero to a organization now that raises $180,000 for our food programs and pantries in Monongalia County.
Yeah, I mean, what it is it tells us that the whole community knows that there are people that are hurting and don't have enough to eat every single day. And that's evident by the people that show up on this last Saturday in February, but it's also evident in the community partners who donate soup, who donate bread, who donate just cash dollars that help us put more food on tables for people that don't have enough around our county. And it's not going someplace else, it's staying here.
And don't forget the cookies.
And the cookies, absolutely. We've got great faith-based partners that are helping us bake cookies, and school groups that are baking cookies, and school kids that are baking cookies, so the cookies absolutely make it.
Right.
Especially the broken ones that we get to eat.
I'm Sean Sikora. I'm a county commissioner in Monongalia County, and I'm happy to work this event. This is my third year working this event. You come out here and you see everybody in the whole county in one place in one day. It's a wonderful event. I've run into a lot of people today saying it's the first time, so this event seems to be growing. And it's just a wonderful, heartwarming event to come out, eat soup with your neighbors, have lunch. We bring people in, we put everybody at different tables, so you get to meet a bunch of different people and all your neighbors in Mon County, and it's a wonderful event.
I'm Lee Hurley, and this is my son Alex Hurley.
Hi.
That's all we got to say. This is a great event. We're glad that we can be able to help you out. Love the soup. This is our first time. We've gotten it at other years we've been to do it, but this is our first time here.